from Martin Luther and for us as inheritors of what happened through Erfurt. Many of you know the stories about Martin Luther. I'm going to summarize some of them. Dan Berge asked if I'd share a devotion at Erfurt, but because of the just the probably limited space and the time, Joseph and I thought it would be best if I shared it on the bus. So certainly, and feel free if you are resting to rest, and hopefully my monotonous tone can just soothe you to sleep. But as we're leaving Luther's home city where he was born, a couple of thoughts. As we know from Erfurt and his travels back and forth, we know the famous story Joseph shared with us of Luther at the lightning storm. He cried out to Saint Anne. Saint Anne is significant because, as we learned today, she was the family, Luther's family, were copper miners, and Saint Anne was the patron saint of the miners. She wasn't an officially approved saint originally. In fact, her name is thought to have been, by tradition, the name of Mary, the mother of Jesus. That was from a Gnostic text that the church never really approved of, but we've come to accept that as the tradition. Her name was Saint Anne. And Saint Anne was the patron saint for miners for two reasons. She produced, or one reason, because from her came two great stones, Mary and Jesus. So there's the patron saint. Yeah. So as we pass by on the right, there's copper mining. If you look at this, the pyramid type thing. Yeah. So that's. Nobody's done. All right. So some remnants of the copper mining that they haven't put together yet. So many of us know that Luther was traveled, and he was told by his father, as we learned about again today, he was given the opportunity to study. He was going to be a lawyer. The family class was going to improve from farmer to copper mining to then a legal degree and a professor of law, which would have then enabled Luther and his family to go again in much higher positions to come. So it was very important for his father that he would become a lawyer. So he was sent to Erfurt to study, is where we're heading. Joseph mentioned that this was a trading town. It was a very well-developed town. Probably about 20,000 people were there when Luther was sent in the early 1500s. So Luther received a bachelor's in 1502 and then a master's 3 years later. He was 22 when he graduated with a master's. He was heading into doctoral work. This summer that he was actually heading to doctoral work is when he went to visit his parents. They weren't they were in Magdeburg. What was the city his parents were?
Mansfield.
Mansfield, that's right, Mansfield. So he was coming back from that over the summer break before he started his doctoral work in law, when he had that thunderstorm kind of conversion, if you might say, the change to the Augustinian monks. In the process of that, as we are probably all aware, Martin Luther became rigorous. He was fearful. He was a fearful child. He was even more fearful once he entered into the monastery and he realized how much religious duties he had to do to obtain a level of acceptance before God. And so he, as the story goes, I feel like I'm kind of reading the Christmas tale of Christmas, because you all probably know this. But Luther, he practiced all sorts of rituals, from praying and fasting, staying up way late, freezing himself, and he once said that if